I used to think I understood the tone of her voice. You know, that soft, sweet, almost musical softness Claire used whenever she wanted something, from affection, to forgiveness, to absolute control. But that night, that specific night, her tone was too soft. The kind of softness a person uses when they're scared you might see the truth hiding behind their eyes. She walked into the living room with slow steps, pretending her day had drained the life from her body. Hair slightly messy, cheeks flushed, the scent of perfume too fresh to be just from work. She sat next to me, pressed her head against my shoulder, and whispered, "Rough day at the office. I'm exhausted." The thing is, Claire never came home exhausted. Frustrated, sure. Annoyed, often. But exhausted, never. Her fingers were trembling. Her breathing uneven. And there was a faint red mark on her neck, small, thin, almost invisible. But not invisible enough. I asked, "You okay?" She nodded too fast. Too eagerly. Like a child scared they might slip and reveal the truth. For the first time since we'd been together, I felt something cold settle in my stomach. Not suspicion. Not paranoia. Something worse. Recognition. The next morning she wore a smile that didn't belong to her. Her real smile had dimples and warmth and messy authenticity. This one. It was polished. Practiced. Almost. Borrowed. She made breakfast, another red flag. Claire hated cooking. But today she moved around the kitchen like she was starring in a commercial. "Eat up, baby," she said, sliding the plate in front of me. Baby. Since when? Claire wasn't affectionate like that unless she'd done something wrong or wanted something huge. We both knew it. And then the new habit began. Checking her phone under the counter. Smiling at messages she never let me see. Flipping the screen every time I walked by. When I wrapped my arms around her waist, she stiffened. When I kissed her cheek, she flinched. When I said, "I love you," she hesitated 2 seconds, exactly 2 seconds, before whispering it back. She thought she was hiding it. But betrayal has a smell. A rhythm. A pattern. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. A few days later, her late-night, office deadlines, doubled. Then tripled. And every time she returned home, her clothes smelled like expensive cologne, not mine. Not any brand I owned. Something stronger, darker, masculine in a way that screamed wealth and arrogance. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because I needed the truth. Not guesses. Not paranoia. Truth. So I studied her excuses. Memorized them. Meeting ran late. Traffic was insane. My phone died. We had a team dinner. All believable, if you heard them once. But not every single night. Not in that same breathy tone. Not with that guilty shiver in her voice. Her lies were starting to overlap. Like she couldn't keep track of her own fiction. Like she was juggling too many narratives at once. And every night, I loved her less. And wanted answers more. I didn't plan to check her phone. I didn't want to. Because checking means you're ready to lose everything. But that night, when she left her phone unlocked while showering, I swear my heart stopped beating. A message banner popped up on the screen. Last night was unforgettable. Same time tomorrow. D. D. Who the hell was D? My hands shook. My face went numb. I opened the messages, knowing it might destroy me. But I had to know. And there it was. Photos. Voice notes. Conversations dripping with intimacy and heat and secrets she never shared with me. And the worst part. Her replies. Playful. Seductive. Alive. She wasn't tired from work. She wasn't stressed. She was drained because she was giving her energy, her body, her passion. To him. I felt something inside me break. Quietly, almost politely. Like a bone snapping under too much pressure. When she stepped out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, humming a tune, her hair dripping. I had already put her phone back exactly where she left it. I didn't scream. Didn't accuse. Didn't ask questions. Instead, I kissed her forehead. She looked surprised, almost confused. Because she didn't know that I knew. She didn't know that her lies were no longer invisible. She didn't know the truth had already carved itself into my chest like a wound that wouldn't heal. And in that exact moment, I made a decision. Not to forgive. Not to confront. But to watch. Quietly. Patiently. Until the truth exposed her completely. The storm was coming. She just didn't know it yet. Claire's routine became predictable. Too predictable. Perfume before, late work. Perfect hair for team meetings. And always, that nervous glance at the door when she came home. As if she was checking whether her lies had left footprints behind her. That night, I pretended to be asleep. Breathing slow. Body still. Eyes half closed. She walked in at 11:47 p.m., exactly the same time she returned the night before. I listened. Her footsteps were light, guilty. The kind of steps people take when they're scared to wake the truth. And then it happened. She whispered his name under her breath. Barely audible. But I heard it. D. The same D from the messages. She whispered it like a habit. A comfort. Something familiar. Something intimate. Something she shouldn't have carried home. My heart didn't break this time. It froze. Turned to stone. And in that stone, the first crack of hatred formed. I needed to know who D was. I needed a face, a presence, a reason why she threw us away. So the next morning, after she left for her early meeting, I went through her phone again, not out of obsession, but to understand what I was fighting against. There were several voice notes. I hesitated before opening them, knowing they'd scar me. But pain is better than uncertainty. I pressed play. His voice was deep. Commanding. Confident. Missed you last night, Claire. Couldn't stop thinking about you. I felt my stomach twist. Another message. You deserve someone who appreciates you. Not someone who takes you for granted. So that was the narrative she'd fed him. That I neglected her. That she was some lonely, unloved wife looking for affection. And he ate it up. Every lie. Every manipulation. Every carefully crafted victim story she used to justify betraying me. The final voice note lasted 6 seconds, but those 6 seconds killed something inside me forever. Wear the black dress tonight. I want to take it off you slowly. I closed the phone. My hands were shaking so violently I nearly dropped it. This wasn't emotional confusion. This wasn't accidental affection. This was a full-blown affair. Planned, rehearsed, and burning with desire. At noon, she texted me. Love you. Hope your day's okay. Love you. After last night. The hypocrisy was nauseating. Her words were empty, lifeless, mechanical. As if she typed them because that's what partners were supposed to do. I looked at that message for a long moment. Then I realized something. She wasn't mine anymore. I was sharing her with a man whose name she whispered when she thought I was asleep. She came home earlier that afternoon, surprising me. She kissed my cheek. Pretended everything was normal. Smiled like she wasn't living a double life. Her eyes avoided mine. Her body avoided my touch. Her heart avoided the truth. And all I could think was, how long has she been gone? While pretending to stay. The real breaking point came when I noticed a small detail. Something subtle. Something she didn't realize she messed up. Her hair. Her perfect, styled hair. Smeared lipstick on the edges. Collar slightly wrinkled. And faint cologne that definitely wasn't from a meeting room. She rushed past me to the bathroom the moment she walked in. Locked the door. Turned on the shower instantly, as if water could erase guilt. But I had already seen it. All of it. Every clue she never meant to leave behind. She didn't need to confess. Her body confessed for her. Her smell. Her clothes. Her panicked movements. Her shame-faced silence. And as I stood in the hallway listening to the water running, I felt something dark, quiet, and final settle inside my chest. No more confusion. No more questions. No more forgiving the unforgivable. I finally knew. I finally accepted. My wife wasn't mine anymore. She belonged to her secret nights. Her stolen moments. And the man who whispered into her phone like he owned her. When she walked out of the bathroom in her robe, smelling of shampoo and guilt, she kissed me on the cheek, like nothing had happened. Hi, babe. Babe. Now I was, babe. Another generic, meaningless word thrown like a blanket over a fire she didn't want me to smell. I smiled back. Calm. Too calm. Because something inside me shifted. A switch. A clarity. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to demand explanations she'd twist into more lies. No.
If this story hits you, you can support the channel with a quick hype.
I was going to do something else. Something quiet. Something strategic. Something she would never see coming. I was done being the blind, loyal, trusting partner. Done being the background character in her hidden romance. I was going to expose the truth. Not with anger, but with undeniable evidence. And once everything was revealed, she would finally understand the one thing she never expected. I wasn't the one losing her. She was the one losing me. I wasn't going to confront her yet. Confrontation gives cheaters power. It lets them twist the narrative. Cry on command. Rewrite reality. Make you doubt your own eyes. No. This time, I would be the quiet storm. The kind that destroys everything without raising its voice. So I started small. I synced her phone backups to my laptop. I hid a small camera in the living room. Not because I wanted proof of her bringing him home, but because emotional cheaters slip. They talk. They rehearse lies. They reveal more to an empty room than to your face. I didn't want rage. I wanted the truth. I wanted her unfiltered. Her real self. The version she kept hidden from me for months. I sat there, staring at my screen, waiting for that camera to show me the woman I no longer recognized. She had no idea the walls were closing in around her. And for once, I didn't feel helpless. I felt ready. It was a Wednesday evening when everything snapped. She stepped outside to take a work call. But the moment the door closed, I checked the camera feed I had installed by the backyard. She paced back and forth, smiling that smile I hadn't seen in months. The smile she used to give me, now reserved for him. Her voice was soft, tender, the kind of softness a man hears only when a woman wants him. I miss you. I can't stop thinking about last night. My heart dropped to my stomach. Not because she said it, but because of how she said it. With a nervous excitement you cannot fake. Then came the final blow. Don't worry. He still has no idea. I'll see you Friday. I'll tell him I'm working late again. Friday. Another planned betrayal. Another performance. Another evening where I'd sit at home believing she was earning money while she gave her heart to someone else. My eyes burned. But I didn't cry. Not anymore. You only cry when something breaks. Nothing was breaking anymore. Everything was already destroyed. After the call, she came inside smiling faintly. But she didn't know something. She had a habit. A small, unconscious movement she made when she was happy. She twisted her ring. The wedding ring I gave her. The one she swore symbolized loyalty. She twisted it like it was uncomfortable. Like her finger didn't want to carry a promise she wasn't keeping. She sat next to me on the couch and leaned her head on my shoulder. She pretended everything was normal. But for the first time, her weight felt foreign. Her touch felt scripted. Her warmth felt borrowed. I didn't pull away. I didn't flinch. I didn't let her see the storm inside me. I whispered, "I love you," just to observe her reaction. She froze for half a second. Half a second. But it told me everything. Guilty people don't know how to accept love. They don't know how to respond to sincerity when they're living a double life. Her voice cracked as she replied, "I love you too." But her eyes, they said something else. "I hope he never finds out." Friday arrived. She wore the black dress. The black dress. The one he asked her to wear in the voice note. The one I used to love seeing on her. Now it felt filthy. Contaminated. Weaponized. She kissed me goodbye with cherry lipstick and said, "Don't wait up. It might be a long night." And that sentence, that exact sentence, was the moment my love for her officially died. Because she didn't say it like a wife going to work. She said it like a woman heading into someone else's arms. With no hesitation. No guilt. No second thoughts. As soon as she left, I opened the synced phone data on my laptop. The most recent message was sent 1 minute ago. "Leaving now. Can't wait to see you." To him. Not me. A GPS ping showed her destination. Not her office. Not a restaurant. Not anywhere professional. A private apartment. His apartment. Everything inside me collapsed into silence. Not anger. Not screams. Not chaos. Just silence. Cold, heavy, suffocating silence. I grabbed my keys. Not to follow her, but to leave the home that no longer felt like mine. This wasn't my marriage anymore. This wasn't my wife. This wasn't my life. This was a lie I had been living inside. And I was done. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't track her. I didn't expose anything. I just packed a bag. A quiet, emotionless bag. With clothes, documents, my laptop, and the last shred of dignity I had left. I left my wedding ring on the table. Right where she'd see it the moment she got home. Then I wrote one sentence on a piece of paper. "I know. Nothing more." She didn't deserve an explanation. She didn't deserve closure. She didn't deserve the pain she had taken from me. She deserved the silence. The emptiness. The cold realization that her affair had consequences she never imagined. As I closed the door behind me and stepped outside, the night felt different. Bigger. Quieter. Painful. But freeing. For the first time in months. I felt air in my lungs that wasn't poisoned by suspicion. I felt the weight lift. Not because I was healed, but because I finally stopped letting her hurt me. I drove away slowly. No destination. No plan. Just distance. Distance from the woman who threw me away without thinking twice. And the storm. The real storm. Was waiting for her the moment she walked inside and found the truth staring back at her in silence. She got home at 2:47 a.m. The camera I'd left running caught everything. The way she tiptoed inside. How she fixed her hair. Wiped the lipstick smudge from her neck. And checked her phone like she was still thinking about him. But then, she saw the ring. My ring. On the table. Alone. Cold. Her smile collapsed instantly. Her breath hitched. Her body froze as if the room had turned to ice. She whispered, "Baby." But her voice cracked in the middle. She walked around the apartment, calling my name again and again. Each time more desperate, more frantic, more terrified. Then she saw the paper. Just one sentence. "I know." Her knees buckled. Her hands shook. She covered her mouth as if trying to hold her guilt inside so it wouldn't spill out everywhere. She cried. The kind of cry that shakes a person from the inside out. Not because she loved me, but because the consequences finally caught up. Cheaters never expect to lose the person who trusted them the most. They expect arguments, but not silence. They expect to defend, not to face emptiness. And that moment where she realized she was exposed, was the moment she finally felt a tiny fraction of the pain she had given me. I checked into a cheap motel. Not because I couldn't afford better, but because I didn't care where I slept. A bed was a bed. A room was a room. Nothing mattered. Everything felt numb. At 3:11 a.m., my phone vibrated. Not once. Not twice. But 11 times. Messages from her. "Please come home. We can talk. I messed up, I know. Please don't leave." It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. But the last message, that one froze my entire soul. "If you leave, he won't choose me." She wasn't scared of losing me. She was scared of losing him. And that's when everything clicked. I wasn't her husband. I was her backup plan. Her emotional safety net. Her financial security. She loved the thrill with him. But she loved the stability with me. And suddenly, the pain turned into something else. Something sharper. Something clearer. Relief. Pure, unfiltered relief. The next morning, she showed up at the motel. Eyes swollen. Hair messy. Voice trembling. She pushed her way into the room and immediately dropped to her knees, grabbing my hands. "I'm sorry. I swear I'll fix everything. Please, please, please don't do this." But what she didn't realize was that people don't beg when they're losing love. They beg when they're losing comfort. I looked at her and said, "Tell me why." She paused. She hesitated. And there it was. The truth she didn't want to admit. He made me feel alive again. Alive. Not loved. Not safe. Not valued. Alive. Like I wasn't enough to make her feel anything. I nodded slowly. "So you burned our marriage to feel alive?" She cried harder. "I didn't think you'd ever find out." And that was the real truth. Not the affair. Not the emotions. Not the betrayal. She didn't regret cheating. She regretted getting caught. I stood up. Walked past her. Opened the door. "This conversation is over." She grabbed my arm desperately. "No, please, don't leave me." But I gently let her hand fall away. For the first time in months, I didn't feel weak. I felt whole. Not healed, but whole enough to walk away. I drove to the coast and sat on the hood of my car as the sun rose. The sound of the waves felt like breathing again. For once, the world wasn't suffocating me. I didn't think about her. I didn't think about him. I didn't think about the nights I spent wondering where she was. I thought about me. The version of me I had lost during the relationship. The version that trusted too deeply. Loved too loudly. Forgave too easily. And slowly. Like a wound healing from the inside. I felt something warm. Something small. Something hopeful. Freedom. Not the dramatic movie kind. Not the loud kind. The quiet kind. The kind that lives in your chest like a new heartbeat. I wasn't healed. But I was finally facing the right direction. 3 weeks later, she sent me a final message. I thought he would choose me. He didn't. I'm alone. I miss you. But I didn't reply. Because the truth was simple. She didn't miss me. She missed the version of me she could control, manipulate, use. And that version of me. He died the night she walked into another man's arms wearing the black dress I bought her. I blocked her number. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect. As I walked away from the past one last time, I realized something. Sometimes, the worst heartbreak is the one that saves your life. And sometimes, losing someone who betrayed you is the closest thing to winning you will ever experience.
If you've ever felt this kind of pain, don't walk through it alone. Hit subscribe and stay with us. More real stories are coming.